Hello and welcome to the Chinese campaign where we united all of China. We are going to let the AI continue this campaign. We have gone, I think, far enough. I think if we keep going, we'll just rule the world. So we'll see what the AI can do with united China. Since we are here. We're going to be going to the end date, so this might be a shorter video. But there's also they added Manchuria to this mod, and for some reason it was given to England. So England is some reason over here. I don't know why they gave it to England with the update. I think it's just my game. We're in the middle of it and it updated. So we will see what the AI will do. So make sure to like and subscribe, and hopefully they do well. I have some doubts, but hopefully the AI, because the Mongols are not that powerful and China is really powerful, so hopefully they can do a good job and not lose to the Mongols. So we can also take a look at the rest of Europe, and the rest of Europe is kind of interesting. We have a powerful Norway up here. HRE is looking all right. Byzantines are not as strong as they usually are.
Nice.
But it's actually a pretty alright. Ooh, Egypt and Jerusalem look pretty strong. So it's a pretty interesting map. We will be focusing mostly over here in China. I don't know how well the AI will do with controlling all this land. The only thing that we will keep, though, is Grave is the best religion. So that's good. We have the best religion over here. Hopefully they spread to the entire world. I don't know if they will, but it's going to be interesting to see how this game goes. I just realized, if the Mongols border England and they subjugate them or whatever, does that mean the Mongols will be over here in Europe? This might get interesting. Well, it looks like we won't have to care about the Mongols anymore. They have completely collapsed. I'm actually not quite sure what made them collapse, but they're out, and it was pretty shitty. Pretty shitty that they collapsed. So China, of course, took this land from England. It makes sense because they're super powerful and England can't get over to this. But the thing that I wasn't expecting is China is now in England. The reason why this happened is because for some reason the Duchy of Ck3 is over here. That's this duchy. So somehow now China is now in Europe. I don't know if this is going to cause problems or not. This could be very interesting. And then Brittany is also destroying England right now. But this is going to be interesting, and we're going to have to watch this. I don't know if China is going to now invade Europe because of this, or what they're going to do, because they can do holy wars on all these nations. So it's going to be interesting. I really don't know what this means, but we're going to see. We're going to see what this, I don't know. The Chinese Empire is expanding. I'm glad that the AI isn't ruining my campaign. It looks like I set them up for victory.
Are you sure about that?
They keep on expanding in the north down here and also on the left. They're just getting bigger and bigger. However, the rest of the map's looking quite all right. We have some pretty big nations. The Byzantines are looking all right. The whole HRE is. Ruthenia is looking pretty good. White Rus. There's a lot of solid nations here. Usually the AI is pretty bad with making some of these big nations. Cairo is good. Umarid is good. Galicia is good. Brittany is good. Burgundy is good. There's a lot of solid nations. Don't look here. This is disgusting. But overall, I have to say I'm quite impressed by the AI, and this might be an interesting game. China is definitely going to win over here, but it's going to be cool to see what happens in Europe. Bad news, there was a crusade against China. They didn't lose, they just lost the English territory. They'll probably get it back, but screw you, Pope. I'm watching you, buddy. I see you. Leave China alone. China's not going to hold this duchy up here, or like this kingdom. And that's because Crusades and Purification Wars are just going back and forth through this land. So China got it back, and now China is going to lose it again from a crusade. So they need to focus on other things, or otherwise they're just going to be in these endless back and forth wars. The HRE has decided that the Baltics look really good. I don't know why they've decided that, but they have some weird territory going here in the Baltics. It's kind of interesting, but you know, I like it. Them expanding, it's pretty good. Hopefully we see them pick it up, because some of these northern nations are really starting to become powerful, and they might take this land from them. So China's not doing too good. Some places got independent. They have new ruler that's a lot weaker than the actual ruler I was. So China's starting to struggle a little bit. I don't think they're going to collapse maybe, but they're not doing the best. But over in Europe, the Byzantines are starting to look a little bit better. Their borders, actually, no, they kind of look the same. But this nation out here in the Umarid looks really good, and they might conquer all of Iberia, then slingshot into France like they usually do. And then this northern nation's looking good too. So everything's looking kind of the same, but we got some little bit more players coming in, and maybe they'll make a difference. Still here in Scandinavia, some of these nations are looking great. Might just be font size though. I thought it was going to be the Mongols that would ruin the Chinese Empire, and it's apparently the Chinese Empire's stupidity that is killing it. Pretty much has less land than what I had. They're doing horrible. They let everyone go free. I don't know why, but hopefully they bring it back together, because I'm not very happy. They're messing up my campaign, and there's still like 70 years left, so come on, make it better, China. For the rest of the world, though, they're looking kind of good. I kind of like this world. Nothing's really too border war. We got Poland, Hungary, Ruthenia, White Rus, Ck3, nation I can't pronounce, Norway getting Iceland, Brittany looking really good in the British Isles. This is actually not too bad of a game. I really love Africa and the Middle East here. This is really nice. Cairo, Nubia, Jerusalem, they all look really sound. I think that's why the Byzantines haven't been able to expand as much, because the Byzantines aren't doing too good, but the rest of the world kind of is. This is a pretty map. I'm kind of surprised how nice it is, especially because it's on the 1.4 update. We have 50 years left, and I'm kind of disappointed in what's happening in Europe. Iberia is not doing as good as I thought it would. England kind of is regaining their power. The only ones I'm really proud of is the Ck3, because they're expanding up here in the Baltics and Scandinavia, and Ruthenia. Ruthenia's looking real nice right about now. So I think with the last 50 years, we're going to see who's going to win between Ck3 and Ruthenia. Byzantines are actually pretty weak, which is surprising. They have a lot of scattered territory, but are weak. When we go over into China, China's doing a lot better. I'm pretty happy. This is not super powerful, but they've also gained a lot of their power back. So they just had a rough couple years, but they're looking good, and I'm expecting them to look good at the end of the game too. So hopefully, okay, as I say that they're losing land, so hopefully I can stop talking and they will keep their land. So we are at the end, and I'm actually pretty happy with the Chinese Empire. They did actually expand what I did, so they did good. And to be honest, I'm even more happy because Grave is the best religion. Grave is the best. It's just doing fantastic. Look at how much it spread. It's almost all of East Asia is now following it. It looks amazing. I'm sad they didn't spread it a little bit more, but still, it spread pretty far. A lot of these nations are following it up here because they did expand to this point, but yeah, I'm proud of you. If you look at the rest of the religion, it's kind of a normal game. Orthodox is a little bit bigger than I thought it usually would be, and that's because there's a lot of nations that aren't the Byzantines that are following Orthodox, and they never were the Byzantines. The Byzantines kind of stayed like this the entire game, and usually they do pretty well. So I'm actually quite happy with the Byzantines' lack of performance. They usually do good. But if we have to give the winner one, it would be the Chinese Empire, because they're kicking butt, but you know, I gave them the advantage. And if anything, I would give it to probably the Ck3. The Ck3 is doing really good. They have gross borders, but they're pretty strong. Ruthenia's doing good too. They're a little weak because they're in a war, but it's a pretty alright game. Cairo's doing good. Jerusalem fell, unfortunately, but there's a lot of good nations here. I think if we went further, it would just devolve. Usually when you do time lapse, it devolves, but this is what would the AI do with my playthrough? They do pretty good. They actually didn't fall apart. I'm actually quite surprised. They had a little bit of a hiccup, but they did good. So thank you all for having this experiment with me. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I had a whole series on this China campaign where I added China to the map. So if you would like to see that, make sure to check the description down below for the playlist or at the end card. But thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys liked the new campaign that started today. Thank you so much. See you later. Bye. If you like this video, check out some of my other content. I do time lapses, I do let's plays, I do challenges, I do a whole bunch of stuff. So if you liked it, check out some of these videos on the screen now, some playlists, and thank you for supporting the channel. I actually appreciate it. I couldn't do it without you. See you later. Have a good one, and have a great rest of your day.